Hello my friends and welcome back to another Brotato Danger 5 random run, where we take a random character, random weapon, and try to beat Danger 5 with it. Hope you're all doing well. Let's see what we've got. Alright, so we've got the Fisherman. So, Fisherman I've done already. Let's reroll Renegade we've done as well. And Bull, yes. Keep on rerolling a little bit here, and we have the One-Armed. I believe I have not done the One-Armed yet. And we haven't, so let's jump in and see what weapon we get. Alright, we've got the submachine gun. I'm going to reroll this one. I believe I used the submachine gun already for the one-armed, so let's reroll that. And we have one-armed with torch. This one I haven't done, and I think this one's going to be kind of brutal, because of course the one-armed relies on its attack speed, which doesn't matter as much to torch, and also needs its weapon to protect itself, because you don't do very well at keeping yourself alive on this character with only one, with melee weapons especially, with only one weapon that can only attack in one direction at a time. It can be very difficult to survive, so a weapon that kills enemies slowly is exactly what we're not looking for. We will upgrade to a level 2 torch here, and then I'm going to go ahead and take 2 elemental damage. Losing knockback actually kind of painful on this weapon, I think, but the one-armed benefits so heavily from increasing its damage that of course we can't afford to not do that. Do I want the cake even at the cost of minus 2% damage? Just to remind you, with the one-armed, you get triple attack speed, double damage modifications, but only get one weapon. This is a little deceptive, because with triple attack speed and double damage, you might think, okay, that's times 6 together, so that's the same as having 6 weapons. But you're missing the base damage from all 6 of the, or from 5 of those 6 weapons. So we end up very behind on damage compared to a normal character, because normal weapons have base weapon damage. And also, it's more difficult for us to actually hit enemies, because our weapon is attacking in one direction, it's not attacking in the other direction, whereas a normal character has that capability already. And attack speed is worse for us. So the one-armed starts fairly behind where a normal character is. I'm going to reroll. I think I'm not going to take the cake here. I feel like there's more important things for us to grab. I will lock Cute Monkey. That's a great way to heal. And I'm not going to reroll again. I wanted to look for economy items, but there's no benefit to rerolling for weapons on on the first shop. You can't roll a level 2 weapon. We've already upgraded our torch to level 2, so there's literally no reason to reroll for weapons there. We're also very unlikely to be able to upgrade our torch next wave either. This is another downside of playing the one-armed, is that it's much harder to upgrade your weapons. I will just take 8 melee damage. I prefer elemental damage, but torch scales with both, and this will increase the damage of our actual swings a lot, which is really important to this character, so picking up a bunch of melee damage is going to be extremely helpful. We'll take the Cute Monkey, and then we'll reroll here. Propeller Hat, so losing 4% damage is bad, but one way that this character can play out, and one of the easiest ways to accomplish stuff with the one-armed, is to have high luck, use your high percentage damage from doubling your percent damage values, and then find items like Baby Elephant and Cyberball, and that way you can kill enemies without having to worry about your one weapon, which of course, since there's only one of it, is not that effective. But non-weapon sources of damage are incredibly effective because you still double the damage modifiers that you're buying for them. So luck is super important for this character, as well as just being a good stat on its own, of course. We are really struggling to pick up materials because we're knocking enemies away and they're dying slowly. There was a curse alien there, which I wouldn't have minded getting, but I didn't think I could get it in time. Definitely taking 2 armor here, and then we'll pick up 5 harvesting, and then I will buy these 2 items. Let's do a reroll. Peaceful Bee costs me 2 melee damage, but does give dodge and harvesting. I'm taking Broken Mouth for sure, and I'll take Penguin as well. Do I want the Peaceful Bee? Losing 2 melee damage is bad, of course, but we will be able to get that back. I think the harvesting is worth it, so I'm going to lock the Peaceful Bee here. Really looking for just a level 2 torch is the thing that we care the most about, because I would love to upgrade my weapon here. Torch is so important to upgrade too, because the damage scaling of both melee and elemental damage goes up, and also with the one-armed, especially with an elemental weapon. The elemental weapons are balanced, assuming that you have the elemental weapon tag, which increases your damage. The one-armed doesn't get the weapon tag, so we're playing with lower base damage than Torch is balanced around the player having. So we're kind of playing below the assumption of this weapon in terms of how effective it is. I'm going to reroll here. I'm looking for harvesting if we can find it, because that'll get us to 21, which is great. And then we will buy all of these items and then reroll. Definitely going to take an armor. I don't think I need the hedgehog. I feel like we can do better there, and we'll take a lemonade as well, and then go to the next wave here. One nice thing is there aren't that many decisions to make early with this character, because you never have to decide whether you are like buying a weapon or buying an item or anything like that. You're just looking for raw stats here. A lot of the advice you see for playing this character also, I think, is very poor. It relies on getting lifesteal, which you're less efficient with, because you get half as many attacks as a normal character, right? We attack 3 times as fast, but have only 1/6 of the weapons, so we get half as many attacks. That means we're half as good at using lifesteal. It relies around, like, getting Pocket Factory and then improved tools, which is 2 specific items that you need to roll into. So I think people really misunderstand how to play this character, and a lot of the advice you see online is incredibly poor and will steer you in exactly the wrong direction for playing the one-armed. I'm going to take the coupon here and we'll roll. I could buy some engineering, but I don't think we need to. I'm going to roll one more time, though. Rip and Tear, this is a great way to increase our damage. This is exactly what we're looking for, is sources of damage that don't rely on our weapons. I'll still take the Fertilizer. It's just so efficient, even at the cost of 2 melee damage. Though with the Rip and Tear, we're much more interested in boosting our melee damage now. We don't need to boost our elemental damage as much, because we're going to have a source of damage that scales off our melee damage, and melee damage is more efficient to buy. One of the things about the one-armed too that I think leads to people giving bad advice on how to play it is that they see the huge bonus stats and go, this is a very strong character. And advice that assumes that this quite weak character is a strong character is always going to lead you astray. I don't want the sharp bullet. We don't have any projectiles currently, so I'm going to recycle that. I will take 8 melee damage because we're about to buy Rip and Tear. We'll take the coupon and then all of these items. Claw Tree. I could buy 2 melee damage. Crit chance isn't bad, though obviously I need to boost that because the Rip and Tear explosions can crit, but I think we can do better. I will take the metal. I'll take Whistle. Range is not horrible, but I still don't think we want Spyglass. And Landmines, it is a way to deal damage that doesn't involve our weapons, but we really don't want to have to buy Engineering. That's just another stat that we don't want to have to care about, so I'm gonna avoid buying the landmines. Obviously, Wave 7 is going to be quite difficult. Our damage is low and dealt slowly over time, so I need to kill the healing enemies and deal with the big slashing enemies with our low and slow damage. We're grilling out here. Sharp Bullet, we're still recycling. Really unfortunate to get that twice. I'll take 10 luck. That's definitely useful. And then Charcoal is an excellent find for us. We do care about both melee damage and elemental damage, so we're very happy to grab that. We'll take all of these items. And I'll roll past the small magazine because I don't want to lose 12% damage. Okay, awesome set of finds here. I think that the level 3 torch is actually going to be worth more next wave than the Scar, because we're really struggling to kill stuff. Upgrading our weapon is the best way to make that actually happen, and then the snowball is going to be very useful if we find other elemental damage sources, and Scar, of course, is a great economy item as well. Our defensive stats aren't bad. I need more regen and more HP, but our armor's quite good, and we've got a lot of dodge, so we're actually okay on that front. And we have Horde Waves upcoming, which is probably easier for us than an Elite would be, so I don't need to worry too much about the boss waves. We're just going to try to get our damage online before we fight the Horde, and then a little more defensive stats. I could reroll here, but with 2 items locked for 9 materials on a fairly low economy setup, I'm going to save my 9 materials here. I could definitely use Explosion Size to go with our Rip and Tear. Rip and Tear scales mostly with Explosion Size more than it does with melee damage, because that's how you actually get the explosions on enemies and get like chains of explosions across multiple enemies. So, unfortunately, you are somewhat reliant on finding that stat, which is obviously only available through 2 items. I guess like there's a couple level 4 items that give it, but mostly only available through a very small number of items, and so will not be reliable to find. And try to make a decent amount of materials this wave. I wasn't going to be able to break that tree, so I probably shouldn't have run towards it. Wandering Bot, slowing enemies is very useful. 27 materials is a fairly small price to pay, so I actually think I will take Wandering Bot. Not an item I usually prioritize, but for this character, where we only have 1 weapon, so getting hit is a constant problem, and where our damage is dealt through burning, the Wandering Bot could be very useful. I'm going to take the 9 HP because I just need to increase my health here, and then Alien Tongue is going to be good. We'll buy all of these. I'm going to reroll. Unfortunately, a level 2 torch doesn't do anything. I will take another Alien Tongue and a Baby Squid. I wish I could buy the Flamethrower. We'll reroll again. Level 2 torch again still does not do anything. The Baby Squid is an amazing find, though. So this is where the Rip and Tear should really shine, especially like Wave 9 and then the Horde Waves that we have upcoming. It should be very good. You can see that we're still struggling not to take damage, but the Wandering Bot is actually helping a ton this wave, so I'm pretty happy with having bought it so far. It's just meaning that I can play more aggressively because enemies are dealing just less incidental chip damage to us, which is always a danger on Wave 9. You can just have enemies really start to overwhelm you. Got that Curse Alien kill, which is nice. We're very rarely killing these Chargers, but we're killing enough of the other enemies on this map, and we got 3 levels out of it and 550 materials. That's really good. Attack speed, you usually don't want to spend money on this character because you have so much already. Just not very efficient. I could take an armor. 20 luck, though, I feel like we can get a level 2 upgrade. I could go to positive crit chance, or to 0 crit chance. I think I'm just going to take 2 elemental damage, though, and then 4 melee damage. I'm starting to get pretty expensive to reroll, and we had 2 more levels that I had to reroll items in. Am I going to take luck here? Actually, any of these 4 options are reasonable. We're not taking the harvesting, but the other 3 are all pretty good. The percent damage, very useful for our Rip and Tear, and then any potential baby elephants or cyber balls or alien eyes, things like that we get. Increased luck, of course, is just great, and then +2 armor is always super helpful. I think I'm going to take the luck. It's just the highest level upgrade. I'll take Baby Squid and Alien Tongue. I will grab Pocket Factory. If we find improved tools, it will be very good, and even without it, it's a reasonable increase to our clear speed. Frozen Heart, interesting. So normally on burning builds, you don't want Frozen Heart because halving the damage, the burning speed is very poor. But it does just increase the base damage of our weapon, which is very important. So I think we might want the Frozen Heart. I'm going to buy the Lure here, lock Frozen Heart, and then roll. Take another Rip and Tear for sure. We'll take a plant. I've got 3 move speed, so I should buy a Terrified Onion as well, and then I'll buy another plant. And I will actually buy glasses. With only 1 weapon, increasing its range can be somewhat useful, so we're gonna make sure that we are actually hitting enemies further away with our torch. Torch in particular benefits from range. It has a wide swing arc, so the range applies to a larger area, and obviously hitting enemies further away means they're burning for longer. A little less important since we are building the Frozen Heart, but still a useful increase to our damage and survivability, I think, to have higher range. Tank a bit here, because I really want to kill these loot aliens. Now, unfortunately, I'm putting myself in a bit of danger here, so we might not get the third one. Unless it did die. I think it actually died to the burning, so that's great. Or the explosions. So 400 materials there is great, and then 3 crates also. Vigilante ring, excellent. Our percent damage is very low. Increasing that's going to be huge. Bag, of course, is an amazing item. And the increased knockback and melee damage from the boxing glove are both actually very good. I'm going to take 9 dodge here. We've already got 10. Dodge gets better the more dodge you have. So we can get to dodge cap and give us a lot more survivability much faster this way. Rip and Tear I definitely want for the Horde Wave, and Frozen Heart as well. I guess I can just buy all of them. Let's roll here. Peacock I would probably have taken for Wave 11. I don't think I'm going to take it for Wave 12, but I'll take a Clover for sure. Finn, I don't really want to lose luck. We've got 6% move speed, so I think I'm going to pass on the Finn here. And I will pass on blood donation also. The harvesting would be really good, but taking damage constantly is very dangerous for this character, so we're going to pass on that. So I did completely ruin the damage of the fire by buying that Frozen Heart, but the actual weapon damage has gone up a lot as a result, so... And of course, 16 elemental damage still makes the first burning tick pretty powerful. That cursed rib cage is definitely a little dangerous there. But for our AoE damage, we're less reliant on burning than we are on the Rip and Tears, I think. Double Rip and Tear really putting in work this run. Otherwise, we'd be getting heavily overwhelmed by these hordes. Got that tree kill. Gonna get the next tree kill as well. Pocket Factory also pretty useful because we're building a lot of elemental damage. So if we find Scared Sausage, it'll be very good as well. So another reason we picked that up. I think here I'm just going to take 6 elemental damage, and then we'll take 4 regen. Getting our regen to a reasonable level is very important. We'll buy all of these items and do a reroll. Ice Cube, an amazing find, of course, increasing our damage output significantly. Do I want the Hedgehog? That's 4 melee damage, and we do want to boost our melee damage, but for 70, I feel like we can do better. I'll definitely take... Or, no, wait. Wheat gives minus elemental, so I don't really want that. We'll take these items. Spyglass, now, I think we'll grab. So, I mentioned this in some previous videos, but Spyglass... Because you get the vast majority of the discounts from Spyglass in the last, like, 3 or 4 waves, I think it's actually counterintuitively better to buy Spyglass late than to buy it early. Because it will take the same amount of, like, it'll pay off on roughly the same wave, regardless of when you buy it. Because you don't really get significant discounts from rerolls until, like, wave 16 or so. And when you buy it early, it represents a much higher proportion of the total materials that you've found up to that point. So buying late Spyglass, I think, is actually much more interesting than buying early Spyglass on these 20-wave runs. Because the extra, like, 10 materials that you save are not worth spending a bunch of materials on an item that doesn't do anything. And the other reason I'm buying Spyglass here is that we really actually do want range. So we're kind of getting a discount on buying 10 range roughly for free. I'll take... no, I can't take wings, unfortunately. Cost me elemental damage. Baby elephant, that's exactly what we were looking for. And I'll take 10 luck just to make the baby elephant better. We will buy all of these items. Claw Tree, I guess I have negative 12 crit chance, so I'll roll past that, actually. Pumpkin, I could buy potentially if we had any projectiles. But Gambling Token will definitely pick up going to 33 dodge. Okay, great. We got a level 4 Torch. That's exactly what I was most looking for. Laser Turret, for 150, I don't think is worth it, but we will buy the Cauldron, and I'll do another reroll here. Then go to wave 13. So this is pretty nice. We now have a level 4 Torch, so the fire spreads further. Actually, I think it does that on level 3, but with the max level Torch, it spreads further, it lasts longer, and it burns hotter. Although we do have Frozen Heart making it significantly worse, but even if we hit an enemy once or twice and then the burning ticks once, that's still a pretty big boost to our damage. But more importantly, the Torch at level 4 scales with 100% of our melee and elemental damage. So all of the damage that we've fought, and we've managed to pick up a lot because we're playing the one-armed, is working at full value now, which is really helpful for making sure that this character can actually kill stuff. Run over here and kill that tree. Would love a scared sausage. I'm going to take 2 armor here. Defensive stats are something that we definitely need. And we'll take a Cauldron. Ritual I'll buy as well. 12% damage is still pretty good. Our percent damage is shockingly low for a one-arm build. I'll roll again. Okay, well, we found Excalibur. I mean, I can't resist buying the Excalibur on a one-armed. I'll be honest, we're past the hard part of playing one-armed with Torch. It now does 1,000,000 damage, and our burning damage is really good, so I'm just gonna buy the Excalibur here, just because it's so cool to be able to do this on a one-armed build, the exact build where Excalibur is the best. And although this is a difficult character with a somewhat tough weapon, we're past the point where the run is kind of losable, because my defensive stats are now online. Which is like the real struggle in every run. As always with these runs, if a cool enough weapon shows up, I'm willing to break the random weapon restriction, unless it feels like the run is still challenging in some way. And this run really does not still feel challenging in some way. Once again, I have to say, really impressed with Torch. I was expecting this to be a much more difficult weapon for this character, because it really does not seem like it synergizes. But just the fact that it scales so well with both melee and elemental damage made it pretty reasonable buy. It just let us buy a lot of items. And we found double Rip and Tear as well, which is a huge help. Take the baby elephant here. We will take the regen, and then we're going to go ahead and sell and buy Excalibur, just because it's so cool. Ugly Tooth I'm going to pass on. Oh, the Sunken Bell is also a really nice find for this character. I didn't mention that because we found the legendary weapon. Sunken Bell's really nice as just a panic button. I'll take the bag, and Black Flag will grab. That obviously would be better earlier, but it's still really nice here. Excalibur's so much fun. What a sick item. Just hits for so much damage, and the swing... The differentiated swings are really fun as well. I will say without the burning damage, we are having a little more trouble clearing enemies that are far away. So, I actually feel like the Excalibur is somewhat worse for this wave than the Torch would be. Although the explosions from the Rip and Tear are really doing a lot of work for us. Yeah, this is definitely worse than Torch would be for this wave. Because the swing, the animation is worse. And the Excalibur itself, the damage doesn't really matter, because all of our actual clear speed was coming from the Rip and Tears and the baby elephants. I'll I'll take landmines when it shows up for free in a box. We'll take 9 dodge because we can get to dodge cap. And then I don't really need any of these. Let's reroll, and I'll take 3 armor, which is perfect. I still don't have projectiles other than... I guess I've got the Pocket Factory, but we don't really have a use for Pocket Factory piercing at this point. We'll grab another bag, because why not? Baby Gecko I'll still take. Cake I'll still grab. I will take a duct tape as well, and a cursed banner. Glass cannon is 50% damage, so I should buy that as well, and we'll take a coupon also. Bowler hat, this late is not that interesting, although 15 luck is still good, because we have double baby elephant, which are doing a lot of our damage, but I think we still roll past it. Small magazine also has some applications for this character, even for this character, if we were a ranged weapon. So even though it costs minus 12% damage, it's still good. And even with a melee weapon, it can still sometimes be good, even at the huge penalty, even on the one-armed. But for this weapon, we just want to focus on defensive stats, because the Excalibur hits hard enough that we just don't need to deal with increasing our damage at all. And it will continue to scale as I boost my HP. The glass cannon is enough offense that I'm gonna buy that anyways, because it also works with our other non-weapon sources of damage. But for like fighting bosses, which is gonna be the main challenge that we have left, defensive stats are gonna matter more. 4 crates this wave also. The benefits of buying lots of luck. And, well, this would have been really good to find earlier. I'll still take it because it's 4 curse, and I'll take the snake as well. If I find a scared sausage, we'll still be very happy to have that, because we've gotten a ton of elemental damage, obviously. I'll take the shackles here. Yes, capping my move speed at -3 is pretty dangerous, but Excalibur also really likes range, and the regen is very good as well. We'll take 3 armor. And then take the glass cannon and immediately lose 3 armor. Clockwork Wasp, I do have some structures, but the move speed is wasted, so we'll roll past that. Torture, we have better healing than the Torture, so I don't need that either. Padding, I will buy. Our HP is quite low, so even for only 3 HP, the padding is still somewhat useful. And then I will take Baby Squid as well, and Warrior Helmet and Cute Monkey, and do another reroll. Take a Spicy Sauce also. Blood Donation, a little more interesting at this point, but we still don't really want it, so let's roll past it. But Feather and Chameleon. Feather I'm definitely buying, because that'll get me to 50 dodge. Chameleon getting me to 53 dodge is still quite good, but losing 8% damage is very painful, so I think we'll buy the Feather and not the Chameleon. I mean, they're basically the same item for us, but one costs 3 times as much and comes with an actual penalty. We really don't care that much about losing XP gain this late, obviously. One-armed with Excalibur just is so sweet. Obviously, this is the weapon that you're hoping for on this character, usually. It's one of the weapons in the game that benefits the most from boosted attack speed, and on any run where you have Excalibur, it's going to be the only thing killing anything anyways. So you just don't need to care about only having one weapon, because when you buy a legendary like this, you often effectively only have one weapon that's actually doing damage. I'll take a Pearl for sure. Very good with our 75 luck and our bonuses. You know what? Let's keep buying range. This one goes out to all the people who love range more than anything. And so we're going to buy some range on this character. Buy Tyler here. I'll take the injection. Even at the cost of HP, I'd still want increased percent damage, and then we'll reroll and take another duct tape as well. Unlock a medal also. So obviously, this fight is easier with Excalibur than it would be with Torch, though I suspect not by actually that much, because the torch, the Excalibur is doing 1,000 damage. The torch would probably at this point be doing about 250 a swing, because we'd be able to increase our melee damage a lot. And then also have the burning damage. So of course we killed it much faster, but I really don't think that there was any chance we lose that fight with torch. Especially with like great healing and almost at dodge cap as well. Really enjoying just how we just get to chop everything to pieces here. Oh, the Tyler's nice too because we have the ice cube. I'm gonna recycle the diploma. I don't think it gets us to level 25 to have diploma, and because we only get one more wave to hit level 25. Maybe it does. Yeah, I think it probably does actually. So I'll take the diploma here, and we will hopefully hit level 25 because of it. Coupon will probably still pay for itself. Incendiary turret, we have the fried rice, so this is a great purchase for us because it just gives us a ton of regeneration. And then I guess we'll buy another coupon. We'll take a corrupted shard. We'll roll here. Wolf helmet I will take as well. The elemental damage doesn't do that much, but the luck is very good. We have a pearl already, and I'm still sort of hoping to roll into another powerful weapon or elemental thing or a scared sausage to go with our elemental damage. Actually, the elemental damage is also not bad because we have Frozen Heart. Not that that's a real consideration, because 20 elemental damage with Frozen Heart is plus 2 base damage on our weapon, which already does 1,300 damage. So it's really not that exciting. People get really excited about the extra damage scaling on Nail and Frozen Heart and always ask why I didn't buy like an elemental damage or an engineering item when I have those items. And the answer is that 10% scaling is nothing. It's just not worth spending a bunch of money for these extremely marginal damage increases usually. In this case, though, we're going to grab it because the luck is very good. It increases our percent damage as well. And the base damage isn't nothing. And if we find a scared sausage in the last shop, then it'll be excellent as well, which is certainly a possibility. Didn't quite manage to kill that curse alien. I will lose 2 elemental damage here for 4 melee damage, and Fishhook sadly doesn't do anything this late. I'm going to take 6 dodge to try to get to dodge cap, and we'll take 4 armor as well. And now we can't die against the bosses. We'll take the wolf helmet. Community support we don't need. There just won't be enough enemies on the field for community support to do anything against the bosses. Pearl I'll grab. Coffee at minus 4% damage is still probably good enough. Baby Gecko I will take just to, increasing my range even further. Again, just for the range heads in the audience. Fuel tank. So this is a case where buying fuel tank would just cost us damage because the melee damage, or scaling with melee damage is 200%, or scaling with elemental damage is 10%. So even though we have Frozen Heart, you just don't want to buy items like this. I'm not going to buy Weird Ghost. That's a way I could throw the run pretty easily. I will take Schmoop, though, because our HP and regen definitely could use a boost, and this is a really nice find for just ensuring that we're safe for the rest of the run. Do some re-rolling here. Actually, I should have checked the Spyglass money before I re-rolled twice there. Where is it? So 179, so probably around like 130. So yeah, so Spyglass didn't lose any money from buying it late and ended up being not bad for this build. So I think the late Spyglass tech is a little more interesting because we didn't have to wait as long for it to give us an actual discount, and the range at least is relevant on this build. All right, let's go fight some bosses with Excalibur. Because buying an item on wave 5 that does nothing will just lose you the run a bunch of the a reasonable percentage of the time. Buying an item on wave 13 that does nothing is a lot more acceptable. All right, let's take a look at our items here. So we got 350 healing from Cute Monkey. Really nice healing there. Really glad we got these early. Very helpful for staying alive. We ended up with 131,000 damage from Rip and Tears. So obviously, this is what I'm talking about. Non-weapon sources of damage are so important to this character. So finding Rip and Tear or Baby Elephant is usually your win condition on the one-armed. We've got Baby Squid here, which it gave us 15 regen, which is excellent. The Snowball, it's so disappointing every single time. We got 3 triggers of the Snowball for 6 total elemental damage. So we got the Snowball so early, and it was just so bad. It just happens every single time you buy this item. Vigilante rings were great, 60 bonus damage, of course, doubled to 120% damage. Bags for 555 materials, nice number there, and also, of course, a great return on triple bag. A little less than you usually get from triple bag, especially with almost 100 luck, but not bad anyways. I was happy with the Frozen Heart. It did help even when we were still a torch build, and Ice Cube, of course, is great. 50k damage from Baby Elephant, not bad. We looked at Spyglass already. 300 materials from Black Flag, also pretty good. Less powerful than it is on Abyssal Terrors, of course, but still excellent. And the increased enemy spawns give you just so much extra money on this from this item. Excuse me. Adrenaline we are very happy with, and Fried Rice. The Snake we bought after we had sold the torch, so didn't end up doing anything, although it did work with our Incendiary Turret, which then gave us a lot of regeneration from the Fried Rice, so these items did work in concert together. Probably shouldn't have bought the Snake. I was still in the mode of buying items to make our torches better, but it did end up working out okay, and the extra regen from Fried Rice with Incendiary Turret is really good. 1400 damage from Spicy Sauce, obviously not useful, but overall a very clean win with the one-armed, and we got to play with Excalibur, a weapon that you very rarely get to see, so really fun times with that. Alright, my friends, hope that you enjoyed this run, and of course, if you have, feel free to leave a comment and hit that like button. Helps me out with the algorithm. Irritates me that I have to harass you about it, but it really does matter for whether people engage with the video, for whether YouTube recommends it, so it is the best way you can help out video creators on YouTube. And of course, you can subscribe to my channel for more Brotato and other strategy game analysis. Cheers, folks. I'll catch you next time.